Okay. We will apply now the corrosion allowance. So we have already this design basis. It stays in here. Section 1.4.8 corrosion allowance of 6 mm shall be provided in the splash zone. So usually on the splash zone area, your section will be corroded. Now that's the assumption on the splash zone area. So in place 6 mm. In fatigue, one half of that. So in fatigue, instead of 6, we will apply 3 mm. Okay? So definition, it will be applied on the splash zone. The splash zone is defined as, I change this one in order to capture this transition pieces. So instead of positive 2, we will increase this to 3. So put the splash zone as -3 to +3. Okay. So we will reduce the thickness and diameter. We will reduce the thickness and diameter of the member on the splash zone area. So this is corrosion allowance of 6 mm. So we need Excel spreadsheets to make the analysis simpler because we will calculate. We will calculate. Okay. So take note of this. Splash zone is -3 and +3. Okay. So go to the file. Go to the file now and then to model or proceed. You have already the file. Before any load combination, your CDCM or your parameters to capture wave like CDCM, overrides, marine growth should be correctly defined. So we will apply now corrosion allowance. Usually the corrosion allowance in here, top and then at a certain point. So in our basis of design states +3 -3. So if you will check this one, this is 2 and this is 3. So from here up to -3. Okay. One of the method, since the section changes, we will subtract 6 mm. The best thing to do for me, because we will define the overrides later on. To be consistent with, we have to introduce a joint, a joint at a certain elevation, and then define this as a certain segment or member. Like for example, for this, I will add a joint. So I will go to member, and then divide, and then ratio. I will divide the member. I will introduce now location, the boundary point of corrosion allowance. I will select this member. I will select this member, this leg, and then press apply. Okay. So here is now the joint created. Okay. Now I will go to joint and move this to elevation. Take note, elevation of the point is -3, right? The splash zone, the lower. So I will go to move, and then relative to line, and then in terms of z coordinate. Okay? Z coordinate. I will select Z coordinate. I will select this joint. Select this joint. Select that joint along that line, of course. And then I will consider -3. Okay? So press apply. So this is now the point on the splash zone, right? -3 and then +3. Transition pieces. Okay. But you notice, when you add a joint, it will become like this. If I will go to display, go to labeling, and then member group, it becomes leg and leg. Okay. The very principle, you add a joint at elevation -3.0. I will go to display, and then select. Okay. I will deselect disconnected joint and plates, and then I will exclude pile. I will exclude file because see, I cannot clearly see the member. So file and then wishbone element, na w.b. Okay, so it will go like this. Now you notice when you add adjoint, the original group member is LG7, right? No, the original for this, this member is LG7, LG7. When you add adjoint, this becomes LG7 and LG7. Right? So it's automatic, the sucks, no? Automatic assigned, same, but it's not the correct. It's not the correct. See, in our model, like this, you notice in here, this is the correct, right? 1.5 meter, you have 105 by 3.5 and 103 by 2.5 and then 1.5. So, it should be represented by this. Okay? So, I will rename this into another member. This because LG7 is already 3 segment length. This member is 3 segment length. Yeah? This member is 3 segment length. But in reality, if you notice this one, you have only 2, right? See? 1 segment length and the second segment length up to 3, up to here. The first segment length and the second segment length. Okay? So, I will rename this. I will make another group. So, member, go to member, details modify, select this, and then I will call this as LG, you can put A. LGA for this. LGA for this. Okay? LGA, press, apply, and this I will change to this member on the upper half on the splash zone, on the splash zone area as LGB. Okay? LGA, LGB. Press apply. And then I will define LGA. Now take note, LGA to member segment. So go to property, member group. I will define now LGA, which is this. LGA defined. This is a tubular member. What is the diameter? 105.
We can copy probably
No, but this is 3. It's okay, okay. For a while. 105. I will discuss how to copy group level later on because this is a symmetrical. Let me finish first. 3.5. Okay. And then the FY for this is 35, right? Segment length, you have to, if you have 2 segments, you have to define 1 segment length. And then the rest will be by program. So in this case, the length is how much? 1.5. Legs should be flooded. There are 2 segments, like 1.5 meter length, and then the rest will be calculated by the program. So I will add segment. Diameter for this is 103. Yeah, and then wall thickness is 2.5 with FY of 34.5. Always check flood member for the leg. Now, do not put any length because you have already defined 1 length. Automatic, the program will determine. Okay. So, this is now segment 2. You have 2 segments, right? I will press OK. So, it's already defined. Now, how about LGB? LGB will be subtracted. So, the rest here. This is the below splash zone area. This member is LGA. And above this one is LGB, right? But this will be subtracted. You subtract it with a corrosion allowance of 6 mm. The original section, we have the original section 105 by 3.5 and the bottom one, because this is 1.5 and this minus 3, so you have the remaining length. You subtract also 103 by 2.5. Okay, that's why I sent to you the file, Excel, the Excel file. You can go here. So you see, I have already this one, the leg, LGB, this file here, okay, this file here. You have two segments having different diameter and wall thickness. Now, the corrosion allowance as per design basis is 6 mm, right? Now, so this is already calculated. All you have to do is input the wall thickness and diameter, and this is automatic already. We have already the formula. Now, so try to check the formula. I have already provided the formula. Okay, so this will be your new size. Now, like for example, see, LGB diameter is 105 by 3.5, right? See, 105 by 3.5. And the remaining one is 103 by 2.5. So this is now the new pipe area, the new pipe diameter. See, we need this to input in our structural dimension. So this one, this is already less with 6 mm corrosion allowance. Because see, if this is your member and there is a corrosion allowance, subtract. Okay, you have to subtract. Okay, so I will use this dimension now, new size. Okay, so I will define LGB. Define the diameter is what? The first is 103.8, 2.9, and 101.8, 1.9. So the bottom one, 101.8 by 1.9. Okay, 101.8 by 1.9. Okay, 101.8, 1.9. I will not put a length because at the top has a length of 1.5, right? So automatic. Okay, so 101.8 by 1.9 flooded. Okay, add segment. The next segment is what? 103.8 by 2.9. 103.8 by 2.9. 103.8 by 2.9. Okay, but you have to put the length 1.5. The yield stress of 35. That's the second segment. 103.8 by 2.9 wall thickness. Yield strength of the joint count is 35. You have to input 1.5. For two segments, you put only segment length 1. For 3 segment length, you put only 2 segment length. It's automatic. The remaining will be calculated by the program. Okay, so this is okay now. You have to check flooded member, right? So LGB is already defined. Okay. But you have to check visually, because sometimes it will be reversed. Okay? Go to display, double check, and go to 2 line. Is this correct? Yes. See? We have 1.5, and this one, the segment length here is subtracted with corrosion allowance. This is minus 3 up to 3. Okay. The same procedure also on the other legs. On the other legs. This is minus 3. This is minus 3. Huh?
Okay.
That's the splash zone. Minus 3 is the splash zone at elevation minus 3. Okay. On the side also, on this side, right? On this side. Now take note, this is similar, nah? So LGA for this, you have to double check. Okay, so 1.5 length, and then you have subtracted already the section up to here and up to here, up to 3 meters. Nah? Okay, on this leg, member, divide, ratio, select this, nah? Apply, and then go to join, move relative to align in terms of z coordinates, huh? Z coordinates. Select this joint to be moved, this along a line, this line, and this line. The z coordinate should be minus 3.0. Nah? Because the elevation at the splash zone lower limit is minus 3. Apply. Okay. Now, you notice LG7 is a 3 segment. This is 3 segment length. See? One segment length here and the other on this side. Huh? So, this is wrong. So, what will I do? I will change the group. No? I will modify. This one is LGA, LGB. I will call this as LGC. ABC. Okay? Now, this member segment is actually equal to this. Yes, same, right? So, instead of doing this, I will copy. This is the same, right? C and A are the same. So, instead of doing that, I will go to property, member group. I will define LGC. Okay? Define LGC, because this is LGC. Define. And you see in the group, copy group label. You can do that. Nah? You can do that. I will copy what member? LGA, right? LGA. Huh? So I will go here. And then I will select LGA. See? I select LGA. When you press OK automatic, you have to press copy. Huh? Copy, see, it becomes like that. Automatic, it's copied. The length is 1.5 automatic. What is the characteristic in LCA is also copied in LCC. So instead of inputting manually, you can do it manually. But you can copy also. This is the first segment, right? 1 of 2. So I need to skip segment. I will press this. Press skip segment. And then 103, 2.5. So this is now the segment 202. This is correct, right? 103 by 2.5. This is for segment 2. Okay? So press OK now. Is this okay? Okay. Close and then save. LGB, LGA, LGC. So I will modify this member. The member on the splash zone area, I will call this as LGD. LGD. This, the remaining. And you notice LGB and LGD are the same. Segment, diameter, length. Just copy. Just copy. Okay? Apply. So this becomes now LGD. So I will go to property. I will define now LGD. Member, select LGD. Name this as LGD and copy LGB. Copy this because they are the same. Okay? Define LGD now. Define. And then I will copy group. What label is this? LGB. Just copy. LGB. Press OK. And then you have to press this one. Press copy. So it's already copied. Skip segment length. Okay, so already defined. Copy, just only press copy. And then press OK. Now, double check. Display 2 line. Is this correct? Yeah. See, this is 1.5. And this length is already corroded. So, minus, smaller. Smaller. So, based on this calculation, we have the calculation. You subtract the diameter and thickness by corrosion allowance of 6 mm. So, it becomes like this. The new size is, you have 105 minus 6 mm on 3 on both sides. So, we have the formula. Okay. At the same time, on these legs also, you have to consider corrosion allowance. Okay. So, I will go to member. I will divide this member. Member, divide, ratio, and then select this member, this LG3. Apply. Okay? And then I move this to -3. Join. Move. Relative to align. Z coordinate. Select this. Select this. This one. This one. And then -3.0. Press apply. So this is now -3. Now you notice this member, what is the diameter of this member? This is below. This is below. LG3, it's okay. But how about this? This member. So -3, actually this member is this. That's 1.5. This member below the splash zone, this 103 by 2.5, right? So that member is 103 by 2.5. So you are going to define. I will name this as, go to member, modify. You have to change this one, because LG3 is a 2 segment length. I will name this as LGE. You can name LGF as long as LG, it's automatic leg. LGE. Press apply. I will define LGE. Property. Go to property. Member group. Define LGE. LGE is 103 by 2.5. The yield stress is 34.5. Check. Always flooded member, for leg flooded member. Okay, so this okay now. Press OK. Close it. We have already defined. Okay. This one, since this is no longer the same, this is no longer the same, I will rename this as, this member as LGF. LGF. LGF for this. Press apply and define LGF. Now LGF and LGD, the same, right? It's the same. What I mean, the diameter and wall thickness is the same. So just copy. Go to property. Go to member group. Select LGF to be defined and defined. And then select the segment. What is that member? It's the same with LGB, na? Suppose I will copy LGB. LGB is this. Press OK. But press copy. Huh? After selecting group level, press copy. So it will go like that. Huh? 108 automatic. You check the second segment length. Same also. Press OK. So that's the fastest way. Nah? Go to display to double check if it's correct. Is it correct? I don't think so. Huh? What? No? It's not correct, right? See? The segment length is here. Huh? The segment length is 1.5. It should be at the top. That's the can. So, all you have to do is reverse na. Go to member. Go to details. Select this. This member. And then reverse the joint. Reverse joints. Press apply. Do not reverse if your model is correct. And then redraw screen. Okay, so it's like this. Press redraw screen. See, I have already here the can. No, the can. On the other side, on this also. LGF, LGE. LGE, LGF, copy, LGB or LGD. This is very important to check the structural integrity. As per design basis, you should subtract. Other designer, instead of subtracting, they add. They add 6 mm. So it's already incorporated in the section. So in this case, we will subtract. Okay. I will go to this leg, the other side. Go to member, same way. Divide. And then ratio. I will select this leg, this leg. This leg. Apply. Then I will move this leg, this joint at 3 meters. At 3 minus 3, I mean. Go to joint. Move relative to a line in terms of z coordinates. Select this. Select this. Select this. And you want it to move at 3.0. Press apply. Okay. I will change the group. But I will copy. So member, modify. Select this. Select the smaller one. I will change this to F, L, G, H. You can do LFI, LGI. So I. LGI, LGI. Apply. And the top, this done as LG. What do you think? Do you have already defined H? LGH. LGH. Apply. They are the same. This one and this one are the same. So I will go to property. I will define LGI first. LGI and LGE the same, right? This one. So I will just copy LGE. Copy LGE. Press OK. So I have LGE now, and then you press copy. So this signals the program to copy that member or group. Press OK. The same way on LGH, this member here. LGH, define. You have to copy what? LGF or LGB or LGD, LGF. I will copy LGF. LGF. Okay? And then press copy. So it will be like this. Take note, LGF is two segment. And just press skip. Okay, so I have already now defined this one. Same, the same procedure. Flooded, the length is 1.5 automatic. So this is the fastest way, right? Copy a segment. If you want to, you have to go to property and then member group and define and then copy. LG4, LG4 is also corroded, right? Because as per design basis, is plus 1 is minus 3 and plus 3. I changed this to plus 3 in order to this one, transition pieces. Because usually transition pieces is corroded. It's corroded. Okay, so this one up to here, up to 3. So if you will go to join, see this is at 3, minus 3. So this one, right? So LG4 also will be corroded. LG4 is actually 105 by 3.5. Take note of this, LGD, LGB, LGF, and LGH are corroded already. You subtract the diameter and thickness. So define also LG4. LG4. Okay, so this is LG4 now. This one. LG4 is 105 by 3.5. You subtract this with a corrosion allowance of 6 mm. It becomes 103 by 2.9. Okay? So go to property, member group, and select LG4. Press edit. You have to edit, Edit because it's already defined. You have just to change. So you put 103 by 2.9. 103.8 by 2.9. 103.8 by 2.9. 103.8 LG4, LG4. 103.8 by 2.9. Press OK. What else? We have already applied corrosion allowance on the leg. You need also to apply jacket legs, piles above jacket, transition, deck legs, diagonal braces, and nodes pertaining to the vertical face of the jacket seats. Take it in here. Diagonal braces. Okay. Before you will add a joint on this diagonal, turn off the offset first. Because this is already offsetted, right? This member, see? This is being offsetted already, automatically. So turn this off before you add a joint. Otherwise, you have two offsets. You got problem on that. Okay? So go to member, details modify, go to member, offsets, go to offsets. I want to turn off the offset of this member. So select this member and then go to none. None, Apply. Later on, we will go back to the offset. We will do the offsetting using the automatic design. Okay. Then I will apply 3.0 or apply a joint, member, divide, go to ratio, select this member, Now select this member and press apply. But take note, the splash zone is located at -3. So joint, go to joint, you move this joint, move relative to a line in terms of z coordinate. Select this, move along the line, this one and this one. Your coordinate now is -3.0. Okay? So this is the proper way to model corrosion allowance. So it should be on -3, no, the corroded. Save the model first. Okay. This one, below the splash zone, no corrosion allowance. So this is okay, right? R20 is okay. But this one, the remaining one, is not okay. This is corroded. So I will change the member group. Member, details. This one, I will select this one. And then I will make this as R21. R21, this one. This one is R20, this one is R21. Okay? R21, Press apply. R20 is actually, what is the diameter of this? Display, labeling, I want to see the section. This is 50 by 2, R20 is 50 by 2. So this one should be R20 plus 2 minus the corrosion allowance. R21, The original section is this. 50 by 2. So go to display again. Labeling, member, and then group. I will define R21. Okay? So I will go to my calculation. R21 is this. Diagonal brace. R21, The original size, see, the original size is 50 by 2. And then minus corrosion allowance, it becomes 48.8 by 1.4. 48.8 by 1.4, right? R21, R21, so go to property, member group, define R21. This is 48.8 by how much? 1.4. 1.4. So this is 34.5, 7 point. Legs only flooded, So do not check flooded member. Okay. So, double check. Display. 2 line. It will be like this, It's already subtracted, So this one is larger one and this one becomes smaller one. Save. On the other side, same way. But first, turn off the offset. Because if you don't turn off the offset, this side will be offset and the other side will be offsetted. Now, automatic the sucks. Go to member and then offsets. This one. Press none. Apply. And then revise. So I will go to member. I will divide the member. And then put ratio. This one. So this is a very painstaking procedure. You have to correctly model this one. In fatigue analysis, you have to change the corrosion allowance to 3 mm. So you have to update also. If you have too many members, you have to go one by one. So it takes time. Be patient. Okay. So, apply. I will move this joint at -3. Okay, because -3 is the location of the splash zone. So I will move relative to a line in terms of z coordinates. Joint, move relative to a line in terms of z coordinates. Select this. Select this. Select this and then minus 3.0. Apply. R10 is okay. Now take note, these are the same, no? Diagonals are the same, so you can copy R21, but you have to change, no? Member, details, change this one to this member here. This is R10. So I will make this R11. R11, no? For this. This is R20, I make this R21. This is R10, I make this R11. Okay? Apply. And then define. But take note, diameter and wall thickness of R21 is equal to R11. Huh? So go to property. Member group. R21. Press define. And just simply copy R21. Because they are the same. So group. Copy group label. R21. Okay, R21. Press OK. And then copy. So this is now the corroded, no? It's corroded already. Press OK. So you define only one and then on the other side, on this diagonal, huh? Don't divide first. You have to turn off the offset. This diagonal now. This diagonal. Offset will be none. Apply. Okay? And then I will divide. No? Member. Divide. Ratio. Select this. Are you following? Press apply. And then move this joint at -3. No? Join, move relative to a line in terms of z coordinate. This one, this one, this one. So minus 3.0. Press apply. Okay, RA0. RA0, na? I will change this one to this member, na? This member only has a corrosion. This one is okay. So I will change this to RA1. RA1. Thank you. RA1. RA1. So press apply and then copy. Copy. It's either R21 or R2 because they are the same, no? Property, member group, I will define RA1, define, and then I will copy R21, no? R21 is the same, no? R21. R21, but you have to press copy in order for the program to copy. Now, this already copied. Press OK. Close it. So, you have already done this one. This one. The other side, huh? You have already done this one, right? Okay, it's already. So, we have only this side. Huh? So, remember, turn off the offset. None. Press apply and then divide that member. Apply and then move this member at elevation -3, na? Join. Move relative to a line in terms of z coordinates. This one, and this one. -3.0. Press apply. RBO is okay. So we will define the upper section, huh? Member, details. I will change this one to RB1. Apply. And then change this to RB1, define RB1 property, member group, RB1, press define, but take note, RB1 and this one, RA1 are the same, no? RA1. So, copy RA1, this one, press OK, and then press copy, huh? It's already copied, huh? Press OK, close. Okay.
When I don't offset the member with none, I think the result will divide two frame not different.
Not different, are you sure?
It's not different.
No, do not do like that, okay?
One member I copy.
Okay.
The member I will forward offset.
Now, if you offset this one, see, you have already offset, and then when you divide it one, automatic there will be an offset. Okay, so automatic there will be an offset on that side.
Because when I do the drawing then
No, there will be. For example, for example, this one. Say this is with offset, right? This one will be offset, This one will be with offset. If I will divide this member into ratio, okay. But if you see, this is an offset. There is already an offset. Because this is automatic. You can do also. I think there's no problem in this. Just only the modeling.
When I move the drawing belong to X or Y or Z, I think it doesn't belong to offset in the member with none.
No, I think it's just like. If you cut, it's already offsetted. This side will be offset. The other side will be offsetted.
Cái lúc mình ví dụ như cái phần tử chéo kia nhá, trên điểm kia là đầu là thứ ba. Anh divide là ratio vì nó không ảnh hưởng. Nếu anh divide là line thì ratio đấy là không phải nó ý của em là bây giờ ông thầy ông bảo là bây giờ ví dụ cái phần tử này mình offset ra làm trong là mình
because this one, see, if there is an offset already, and then when you divide, this one will be offset, and then this one will be offset. Well, it's just only preferential. It's just only preferential. I want like this because sometimes the program, when this is offsetted, this side will be offsetted, and this side will be offsetted, and then when I introduce adjoint, the offset here will be carried in this segment, and then on the other side. So that's a problem on your part because this, say,
đúng đấy. Thứ hai trên họ xếp hai mặt phẳng họ xếp nó khác nhau nên là cái điểm divide nó nhưng sợ nó nên là không sợ nó nên là nó sẽ lên đúng sau khi
đúng rồi. Nhưng mà
khi hai mặt xếp này á thì cái kiểu nó đâm ngược dưới đúng không? Thì lúc mình mút thì nó không cùng mặt phẳng nữa nên là khi mà divide but the sub will understand when we add a join between the line, the sub will automatically calculate horizontal point or after offset.
It depends. For example, because in our case we consider the automatic. We consider the automatic. That's why when you cut this one in here, when you cut, it's automatic. The program calculates only the offset here and offset here. But if you do it manually, you got problem because when you cut this one, the offset here will be same as offset here and offset here. So it's not the correct one. Well, anyway, it's only preferential. Okay? So we will proceed now. Okay? So I will go back to offsetting. Go to join, connection, automatic design, offset brace outside. We will go back because we turn it off. Just go back, no problem. Huh? And then go to move brace, and then check. Use existing offset if that criteria is met. Okay, it's already. So you go back already to the offsetting. Go to join, go to connection, press automatic design. Because we turn off the offset, right? So we'll go back together. Automatic design. Check offset brace to outside cord, and then you always move brace. No, move brace, and then check existing offset if that criteria is met. Press OK. So it's already offsetted, sir. Offset already, offset already. So no problem. You just go back. Okay. My question now, when this corrosion will take place? Is it during or after the installation? Does it occur? No, I don't think so. It takes, So this is more conservative. We assume that at the splash zone area, all have been corroded. So maybe it takes time, 5 years up to 20 years or lifetime of the structure. Let us say 20 years. But in the real sense, there are waves loading on the original size. So to capture this original size, we need this parameter. So that's why it's in here. We use this new size to calculate structural integrity purposes. How about wave loading? So you notice that wave loading is function of diameter. When you reduce the diameter, your wave loading will reduce also. Right? So all you have to do is use what we call as overrides. These group overrides will be used by SACs to calculate loadings. It will not affect stiffness or structural. So for loading purposes, for example, displaced area will be used in calculating buoyancy. See? We have the displaced area in calculating buoyancy. Type area in the original in calculating weight. Okay? So how to use this one? Okay. We change the diameter R21, LG1, LGD, and thickness. H04 also is included. Okay, by the way, before, because it's not complete yet, we will go to peripheral members and nodes pertaining to the upper horizontal level. It's only on the periphery. Now for the upper, peripheral members and nodes pertaining to the upper horizontal level. So what is the upper horizontal level? This one. H04, 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 H04. Okay? So based on our design basis, what is H04? We have here. So it becomes smaller. That's a problem. Okay? So for H04, it becomes 28.8 and 0.6. 28.8 and 0.6. So we'll apply H04, right? Go to property, member group. We will update H04. H04, edit. The wall thickness should be 28.8 and to 8.8 and 0.6. Okay. The inside, do not consider the inside. Huh? No. Yeah, we have inside, right? Do not consider inside because as per design basis, it's only on the peripheral members. On the peripheral members and nodes. Okay? So it's already complete, right? But in wave generation, you have to consider the actual dimension. So how to do that? You go to C-state. You go to C-state. Go to global parameters. See? In the global parameters, we have what we call as group overrides. Member overrides, member overrides. We have member group overrides. So we will use the member group overrides, nah? Because these are groups, nah? That's why I introduce adjoint to make the analysis simpler. Now, group overrides. I will use member group overrides. Okay? Define. So, what are these members? Those members we defined earlier on the splash zone. Okay? Because we alter the diameter, right? So, when you change the diameter, your wave loading will change also. Actually, it's not. It's only for integrity purposes. Huh? So, first is LGB. I will define LGB. LGB. Here, nah? LGB, right? The group LGB. Add. So, I have now LGB. Press OK. Do you follow? I'll go back, huh? So, you select RGB or LGB, sorry. LGB, leg B, and then press add. So, this is already selected and press OK. So, this is now the case, huh? Just make like that. No change, no override. Apply marine growth, of course. Apply vertical group segments. But you have to change the cross-section area. This cross-section area here is for weight calculation. Because you subtract the wall thickness and diameter. Now, to calculate for this weight, no, because you subtracted, you put cross-section area here. The cross-section area will be the actual area for weight calculation purposes. The actual area of LGB is this, right? 103.8, 2.9, and 101.8, 1.9. Take note. In defining group overrides, if you have two members, you have also two group overrides. As per SACS. Nah? As per SACS. So, there is a manual. Nah? LGB is 103.8. What is the original size? Pipe area is 116 in cm squared and 789. So, take note of this. 116, 789. Because you have two member, right? You have two segments for LGB. Okay. So, the first segment I am going to consider is 101, 8, and 1.9. So, cross-sectional area. Huh? Cross-sectional area is this, right? Pipe area. Original, ha? Use the original. 1116. Huh? 1116. Or 789. LGB. 789. Again, cross-sectional area in group override is used to calculate weight. The displacement area is used to calculate buoyancy. Okay? Buoyancy for the displacement, huh? So, 789, what is the buoyancy? 789 is this, and the buoyancy is 8332. Okay? This one, huh? See? Displaced area is 8332. 8332. How about dimension for force in local Y? The dimension is the original diameter. Na? Local Y and Z. What is the original diameter? LGB is 105 and 1.3, right? So first, 7898332. Is that correct? 7898332. The other one is 103. This is the original diameter, right? So I will put 103. Oops. 103. And then on local Z, same. 103. And what is the purpose of this? To capture wave loading. You see? Cross-sectional area is to capture weight. The original weight. Displacement area is for buoyancy calculation. And dimension, this is wave loading. 103, 103. Okay. So that's the group override of LGB. Take note, LGB has two segments. Again, I will repeat. If you have two segments on one member, you have two overrides. If you have three, you have three overrides. Okay? So, next will be this one. 1116, 8659, and 3.5. But still the same group. So, press OK. I will define another LGB. Same, because you have two. The same. LGB again. Press add. Press OK. And then define the cross-sectional area at the original. So the cross-sectional at the original is 1116. 1116. The other one? 8659. And then what is the dimension? Original, 105. 105 by 105. Yes, yes, automatic. Yeah, because we have 105 and 105. It's automatic. Even if it's interchanged, still the buoyancy is the same. It's upward. The weight is still downward. It's automatic. Yeah, it's automatic.
It's not depend on which section
No, it's not. It's not. Now you have LGB, LGD, LGH, LGF, the same, right? So you just copy. But you cannot copy in here. You copy it in the data generator. That's really that's why it takes time.
very easy to make mistake.
Yeah, modeling alone takes time.
Yeah.
That's why in some company, like for example Saudi Aramco, they have already set up. If this is the water depth from 50 to 80, they have already the model. Huh? They have already the model. Okay, this is the water depth. This is the configuration. During detail engineering, modify. If this is the water depth from 20 to, let us say, 30 meters water depth, because you have 20 to 30 meters water depth, use this configuration. So that, for example, PTEC, if we have already some project like this, 80 to 30, we have this configuration. We can do FEED, we can do detail engineering. We have already the drawings, AutoCAD drawings, we just update. Okay, that's one thing, corrosion. What else? So the very principle here, the very principle of overrides is this. When a wave passes through a structure, what is the model will be captured only. How about those members or appurtenances which are not modeled here? Like for example, anode. Anode will, there will be wave loadings on anodes, but it's not modeled here. So it's not captured, right? So how will you define overrides? You will increase the CDCM. So see, I have already the calculation CDCM anode. Assuming this is the anode, when a wave passes through this member, there is also, take note, anode is big, huh? 2 meters on the section is like this. So there are wave loadings. Now, for example, we don't know the number of anodes, so we cannot use this one because it needs number of anodes on this calculation, huh? On this calculation. So, during Fed, the assumption just increase, no? Because there are some client prefers like this. Because we don't know, anodes is dependent on the exposed surface area of the jacket. For example, we don't have that information because this is Fed and we want to run in-place analysis just to check the files like that. Some engineers don't use the overrides. They just increase the CDCM. See, you notice the CDCM here? Where's the CDCM? Yeah, this one. In order to capture waves on the land stress, waves due to anodes, some will go to increasing the coefficient by 7%, 5%. So, like for example, 0.65 smooth, multiply this by 1.07. So, that's your new drag coefficient. So, that's another way, huh? Another way of representing any appurtenances which are not modeled on the jacket, like anodes, like clamps, pad eyes. Those are not in the model, right? But we apply this at loads only. But during wave loading, it's not captured. So what we have to do, increase this by 7% or 5%. So 0.65 times 1.07, 1.6 times 1.07, 105 times 1.6, 1.2 times 1.07. So that's another way. It depends on the client. Because some client wants CDCM calculated like this. So try to imagine, see, when there is an anode, see the increase in drag. It becomes 12.78% increase. Other 20%. So much better to represent like this rather than 7% increase. Huh? But usually this is dependent on the type of job. Like for example, Fed. In Fed, you don't need to design anodes. So you don't have the parameter number of anodes on that member. So just increase the wave loads. Increase the CDCM by 7%. Okay? Shall we go further? CDCM with anodes? But we haven't modeled yet. We're still at LGB. Huh? So we will proceed with LGD, LGH, LGF. We will copy, huh? So I will close this one and then I will go to data generator because they are the same, right? So LGB, D, H, and F. So go to data file. And search for the CDCM. CDM. So see, you have already the overrides, huh? Then override. Delete this one. Okay. Copy this. So you notice I will discuss first override. This is very important. See, this actually automatically generated by program. Yeah. The file. If you double click this one, this group for the file is this. If you go to dimension, the displacement area override is 0.001 y. And y is local y dimension is 0.001, 0.001 automatically calculated by program. Because this is file is inside the leg. It will not capture wave loadings. It's only the leg, right? See the file? PL? Nah? CDM. Okay, I have now LGB. Press Control and copy. And then paste. What is that member again? LGB. Next is LGD. Right? LGD. I will change this to LGD. D. What else? LGH and LGF, right? LGH and LGF. So I'll just copy LGH and LGF. Is that correct? F. 2 segment, 2 overrides. 3 segments, 3 overrides. What else? We still have R21, RB1, but take note they are the same, right? So we only model 1 and then copy. I will model R21. Copy this. Put the cursor here and paste. I will change this to R21. Dimensions, of course, you have to change. Displace area you have to change. Local Y you have to change. We will go to our calculation. R21 is R21. Corrosion. R21 is 302 and 1963. 302 1963 in centimeter, huh? 302 1963 and the original 50, huh? The original dimension is 50. So this is 50 and this is 50. Okay? This is for weight calculation. This is for buoyancy calculation. This one is wave loading calculation. (302, 1963, and 50). Okay, press OK, and then copy for R21. What group? R11, RB1, RA1. Copy this. Right click, paste. R11, right? Same. RA1, is that correct? R21, R11, RA1, and RB1, RB1. Okay. So, the corrosion allowance is already defined, considering the diameter decrease and the overrides. What else? Just copy it and then change the group. R21, 11, A1, RB1. Okay? Now we will go to anodes. Close this. Okay? Unzoom screen. You look like that. You press this one, it will go to the original. Unzoom screen. Display, go to display. Labeling. Uncheck the group. And then go to load. Load. We want to show the anodes. So jacket, GCK, miscellaneous. Press OK. And then show the anode. Press OK. Anodes is there. But as the wave passes, the load on the anodes are not captured. You have to use overrides to capture wave loadings due to anodes. Because you have already the weight, no? The weight of anodes is already there. But when wave passes, the wave loads due to anodes is not captured. So, the other way is to consider CDCM. So, we have the calculation also. Assuming this is the anodes now. This is the property of the anodes. The length is 2000 millimeters and dimension is this. Assuming this is the anode, Now this one is the input, 2000, 21, 251, all on the anodes. All the anodes. And then for CDCM, you notice for tubular member, use this one, Yeah? Basis of design, this is for tubular, 105, 1.2. We will use rough because it's at the bottom, right? So this is already filled with marine growth. So use the rough. Rough. Okay? So I am using 1.02 and 1.2. Now for anodes, this is actually considered as a plate. The drag on a plate. So that's 2. CDCM, that's tubular. So 1.05 and 1.2. This is basis of design. Marine growth, all you have to do is put, okay, plus 2, and then 7, 10, and then 5.0. So this is as per design basis, right? This is automatic already. This is now the equivalent CDCM on the anodes only. And then you consider anodes plus the member. Okay. So I have already here the calculation. For example, I have a diagonal on the leg. Okay? So I will consider this one. Leg is diameter for the leg. See, the diameter for the leg is 105. We will use the bigger one. 105 by 3.5, right? So 105 is 1.05. Okay? This is only an input. This is only an input. 1.05 and the length. What is the length? For example, this one. This leg here. Member, details. The length from here to here is 29.45. Okay? I will model wave loadings due to anodes here. Okay? For this. So my length is 29.45. 29.45. The marine growth is 5. Okay? So the blue one is the input, and the red one also, of course. And the number of anodes, how much? For this member. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So there are 4 anodes. So you put 4. Okay? You put 4. So it should be 4. So you have already the CDCM modified. So the CDCM modified is 1.18 and 1.23. Will follow? We will use this value. Okay, for example now, go to C-state, go to global parameters. This is how to define member override. This is now a member, not a group. Okay? Go to C-state, go to global parameters, and go to member override. Member override. Okay? After pressing member override, you select that member. This one. Follow? This member, 119L and 219L. Press apply. And then, after apply, press define. Define. Okay, we have already here. Take note, this is no longer dimensions. So, it actually coefficient. Coefficient, You follow? The first is dimension, right? The second is coefficient, the CDCM coefficient. Normal drag in Y, normal drag in Z, normal mass in Y, normal mass in Z. You are going to consider only drag, normal drag. Okay, so I will apply normal drag on Y is how much? Based on our calculation, the drag is 1.184. So I will put 1.184. That's for Y. And on Z, the same, 1.184. Okay? Normal mass also 1.23. 1.23. 1.23. 1.23. So that's it. No need to consider tangential. Okay. Select adjoint. This one. Define. Close. Save first. C-state. Global parameters. Member override. Select this. They have the same, right? The same length. Apply. Define. And then coefficient. The coefficient 1.84 and 1.23. 1.184, 1.184, 1.23. 1.23. 1.184, 1.23. Press OK. Save. How about on this side? The length is the same. Assuming the same length, so a small one. 29. This is 29 point small. So C-state, global parameters, go to member override, and select. Multiple selection now. You can select 2. And then check coefficient. 1.184. You can do, you can press control and then select. And then the other side is 1.23. Press OK. Okay, the same also here, diagonal. So you have to go one by one. Diagonal. Diameter is 0.5. The length is 33.397. Which one is this? 33. This one. This side. You have how many anodes? 3 anodes, na? So this one is the value. Diagonal. 1.22 and 1.272. Systate, global parameters, member overrides. Assuming they are the same, this one on this side also, this and this and this. Okay? You have to calculate, The procedure is still the same. Apply, define, 1.22 and 1.272. 1.221, 1.2. This one is 1.22. Oh, this one is quite bigger, 1.2. We will use this one. This is bigger, 1.224 and 1.274. 1.224, 1.274. 1.224, 1.274. I pick the highest, and select this diagonal to make the faster. The principle is like that, Okay? So I select all diagonals and I choose only the biggest, which is this one. I will still have this. Well, anyway, it's 0.4. Press OK. Close. Save. On the bottom also we have 2. This one. So we have already calculated this. This one. This one is 2 only, so you have 1349 and 1352. So go to Systate, global parameters, member, override, and select this. Press control, select this, select this, select this. Apply, define, and the drag will be 1.349 and 1.352. 1.349, 1.352. Okay? Mass drag. What else? What are those appurtenances which are not modeled on the jacket? The cone guide. The cone guide is a big. If you have 36 inch, it should be around 40 inch diameter. And it's not modeled here, right? Is it modeled? It's not, Thirty-six. Your calculator. Okay, so 1016 meter. Okay. So we haven't modeled this one, right? So as the wave passes, the wave load due to this cone guide are not captured. So how you model that one? Same principle with the CDCM increase. You have to calculate. I have the calculation here. But unfortunately, some of the parameters are not there. Huh? See, I have here the input. So there is. Okay. How about if we don't have this one? We don't have that CDCM. So you have no choice. You have to model the cone guide because it can be modeled by the sacks, right? You can make it a cone and then a cylindrical section. Okay. I will teach you how to model a cone guide to capture wave loading using the wishbone element, because the wishbone element is automatically generated by program, right? In our analysis. In here, we will not use. Huh? Okay? So, instead of computing the CDCM due to cone guide, we will not do that. I will use wishbone element. We have only guides. Huh? Okay. So, the first step, since you release this one, right? It will not carry, these members should not carry vertical load because it's only a guide. It will only lateral loads, no? From conductors to jacket. See, if you go to display, labeling, if you go to member and AB release, now display member AB release. Oh, it's not release. It's not release. It's not release. No, it's not release. In your model, is it release or not? Okay. If you consider CDCM, you should release like this, huh? Because the principle behind this, these guides, these are only guides. It won't carry vertical load. Okay? So if you release this one, you do release like this, huh? Display, labeling. Make sure you have your local coordinates because releasing will be based on local coordinates. So X, Y, and Z. Okay? When you release that one, member, details, this is the proper way to release CP guides. Select this. See, this is joint 7005 na. So you have to, okay, for a while first, display, labeling, and then check the name so that you will know which joint is this. This is 7005, right? And this is 006. So go to member, go to details, select this. The first one is A, the second one is B. So you release A, no? You release, you fix X, you fix Y, but release all in Y, Z, release in, are you following? 00111. For member, it is release. You have fixed on X, it will carry lateral loads. So lateral loads is X and Y, right? Vertical is Z, so you should release 1111. That's the proper way. But the problem with this method, when the wave passes through the structure, the cone guide is not there. Right? It's not there. So the wave loading on the conductor guide is not captured. Take note, it's a big one. Huh? So what will I do is to model the wave, the cone guides. So if you model the cone guides, do not release this one. Otherwise, you got problem on instability. Okay? So one method is to model the CP guides. I will model the CP guides considering wishbone element. Wishbone element is just the same as a guide, where it will only, like this, no? The lateral loads only is captured. So, to add a wishbone, you need two coincident joint. Okay, this is the first step. Add a joint, same as this. Huh? Because you add a wishbone. 7005, you add a joint. So I will do like this, huh? I will go to joint. You have to check first what is the distance from here to here. What is this distance from here to here? So I will go to joint. I will first distance and select this and select this. Press apply. So that's 3.625. So to add a joint, same as this joint, this is the to add W wishbone, huh? Joint, go to joint, add a joint, use relative. I will select this. Now, relative to this, huh? What is the length? X, now along X, 3.625. But I will change this name. Add joint relative name. This is 7005, right? I will change this to 700 C. Meaning to say that's already the cone. 700 C. Huh? Apply. Okay. So you notice, if you go to joint and then details, you have two coincident joint, right? Huh? The first is 7705. The second one is 700C. That's the first step to add wishbone. You add one joint same as this. Okay? Then, I will model now this one. So, 0.5 down, 0.5 up, and then a cone. Joint, add, press relative. I will add a joint here. Now, select this joint. And then, Z. What is distance? 0.5 meter, no? From the figure, 0.5. Okay? 0.5 up. Up. Sorry. You have to consider joint. I will rename this to 703C. Meaning to say cone, huh? Cone. Rename and then 700C. Apply. Up. It already exists. So I will make this increase to 705. Oh. Joint. Rename. In here. 700. 703C. Okay. So this is 703C. Huh? And then joint also, I will add relative. No, relative. Select this joint. And then I will add a joint downward. And then this is 705C. meaning a cone, and then minus 0.5. Okay? So see, 0.5 up, 0.5 down. Okay. And then from here, you add another cone, no? 0.3 height. So join, add, relative to this. This is the cone, huh? This is the detail of the cone. So 0.5, 0.5, and 0.3. 0.3. Apply. It should be with C, huh? Join. Again, rename. 706 C, huh? Okay. So all in C, C, and C. I will add a member now. But be careful, huh? It should be connected to the cone. C, meaning to say the joint should be C. Member, add, select this, be sure that's in C. And this one, oh, it's not C, huh? But you can double click. Okay, it's already C, right? Meaning to say this, that's a cone. Cone guide. CNG. CNG. Apply. Okay. I will apply now. A member. Add. Be careful. It should be in C. Okay, it's C, right? This one, you have to double click because you have two joints here. It should be in C. And then at the top, 703 na, cone guide, CNG. Apply. From here to here, we will call this as cone 1. Because this is a cone now. Na? Cone, CN1. From here to here is cone. Okay? Apply. Save the model. We will now go to property. We will model first the cone. So in cone, you need to go to section. Property. Member section. So you have the member section CN1. CN1. Okay? And then select cone. That's cone. Cone. That's cone. Define the cone. Larger. We have larger diameter. 161.6. 161.6. Wall thickness of 2.54. Smaller diameter of 1.101. 161 and this 101.6. Is that correct? Thickness is 2.54. Thickness is 2.54. Okay. So we have already modeled the cone. Press OK. Close. Save. We will go to property. Member group. So you have CNG, the cone guide. Define. Tubular. So that's the bottom one. 101.6. And the wall thickness of 2.54. Yield stress is 34.5. Now, you remember we apply a cone guide load, right? We apply already. So when you model it, it will be duplicated. So your density should be set to 0.001. Otherwise, you got problem. Duplicated already. Okay? Press OK. The cone guide, select cone guide, define. It's not a tubular, so you go to general. You go to general, scroll. This is now CN1, right? Is it CN1? Okay. This is correct. Press OK now. Display to line. Oh, it's inverted. You can reverse. Model viewer. It's really inverted. So you can do member details. Oops. You have to unhide the cone. This is cone, CN. So go to display, select, and exclude CN. Just put CN. It's already like that, Go to member, and then reverse the joint. Reverse. Apply. So display, model viewer now. Okay, you have now the cone guide. Okay? Look like this. So, when you model this one, and when the wave passes, it's already captured. So, no need to consider CDCM. But anodes will not be modeled. So, you use CDCM. Okay. This is not done yet, We will change this one. You notice the original, now this member, see? That 7005, 7006 is not connected to the cone, right? Because 7005 is it's actually on the conductor. What you will do is connect this member to the cone, not to the conductor. And the connection from conductor to the cone guide will be wishbone. Okay? So change this one to what? 7C, diba? 700C, right? The cone guide is 700C. This is the same with this. Apply. This one, 700C. Change this member from 707 to 700C. Apply. This one also. So the principle, this member should be connected to the cone. The cone is 700C. Right? So this one, see, 700C. 705C. 700C, 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 700C. Okay, 700C. What else? Now, when you change that member to the connection points, the loads are not automatically changed. Like for example, this member is 703, 705. You have a load of cone guide, right? When you change that member, it's not automatic. So you got an error on this. Go to the load first and change. Save the model. Save the model. And we will go to jacket GCK loading. The cone guide. Okay, go to data file. And search GCK. Anode is there. Madmat. We have the cone guide. See, this is 705. It should be what? 700 C. Huh? 700 C. 700 C. 700 C. The 7005 will be changed to 700 C. 700 C. 700 C, 700 C, 700 C. Well, anyway, you will notice when you run the analysis, you got an error on this. If you don't change the 705 to C. Okay? Go to model. We will introduce now what we call as wishbone element. Okay? We will add a wishbone element. So go to member. You notice this is a wishbone, see? Member, wishbone joint. You select this 705 and you select again 700C. Same joint, because you have two joints, right? Select wishbone joint 705 and coincident joint 700C. Okay? Okay, I will go, I will back. Member, wishbone, select this, again. You have two joints here. And then, first reference joint at the bottom, second reference joint at the top. Top, bottom. Press apply. Okay? Then save. Try to notice when you go to display, labeling, go to display, labeling, and you go to member, AB release, it's automatically released. This is along X, so no load or release about this. So about Z, right? Yeah? And then X, Y. So the same. Display to line. So you have now already the wishbone element. This one. Same as what we did in the upper segment. Also, you define this one and then perform analysis. You can run the analysis now. Can you run the analysis? So this is now, okay, it's already released. Same as you release this, and that. Bone. Okay? So the upper section, you have to model also. Here. You have to model the cones. So tomorrow, we will simulate dummy members. Dummy members, those are members which does not contribute stiffness on the structure, but will generate wave loading. Like for example, boat landing. Boat landing does not contribute stiffness. So like this one, this is our boat landing or barge bumper. This will contribute wave loading but does not contribute stiffness. Okay? So tomorrow don't be absent. Because every day there will be a new topic. Okay?